Three, four, five, six, nine. Okay, hello, internet world. I'm back in my mom's room again, doing some more episodes. So where was I? We were in the middle of, um, meeting everybody, but I only met a few people because I had a big fucking story for each one of them. So let's move on. All right, we got past the couple from the new Dawn of the Dead that I hate, and then where was I? All right, Rochelle. This is her boyfriend, Tyrone, the hella thugged out motherfucker. No relation to Tyree. Tyrone flashes gold teeth. What up, what up? Rochelle. And here's Glenn. It's gonna be very interesting to see how Tyrone is, because this is 2013, 14, etc. Pre-Trump, and all the protests and shit like that. I don't know if it's pre-Black Lives Matter, but like, the huge blow up of Black Lives Matter for sure, and like, abolish the police and all that shit. So, we'll see how the jokes go. Anyways, Rochelle, and here's Glenn. Glenn steps out, dressed in a pair of blue jean short shorts, a cut-off shirt, and a bunch of Mardi Gras beads. For some reason, I had this idea that Glenn was a flamer. I don't know why, and it doesn't last either. It's like the only scene where he's a flamer, pretty much. But I don't know why I thought that. Whatever. Glenn, don't judge my outfit. I was DJing when the zombies attacked. Rochelle, he's my cute Japanese friend. Glenn, I'm Korean. So there's a little racism on her part, you know. Uh, Luba mutters to Tyrone. Oh, Jesus, how do you say this? It's been a little bit. Glupaya suka niznayet, raznitsu mejdu sushi and kimchi. Okay, that's a little fucked up too, but basically, I'm pretty sure, because I remember this, Glupaya, I think, is like stupid, basically. Suka, we know what that means. Niznayet, she doesn't know. Raznitsu, I think that's basically like the difference. Mejdu, between. Mejda is like comparing things, like between two things, I think. That's what I remember, at least. And then, yeah, sushi and kimchi. No explanation needed. She and Tyrone snicker quietly to themselves. I like the idea that Tyrone, even though he's like a total like inner city like gangster stereotype, that he is like learned Russian on the pillow from Luba, and so he's like not like not like fluent, but he gets around, like he knows Russian, you know what I mean? Rochelle. Anyway, moving on. This is Hershey's and his two fine-ass sons. Herschel, of course, is sitting there with his arms around his two 20-something-year-old sons, like he thinks they're posing for a Christmas card photo or something. One of the sons has long brown hair. Well, long meaning like down to the jaw. About like this length right here. And the other one is redheaded and is dressed like Scott Wilson's character from In the Heat of the Night. So basically, this asshole, Hershey's, his two sons are basically like clones of him because they're his roles from other movies, which is weird and creepy. And yeah, we're gonna just go with that. Hershey's. Pleasure to meet y'all. Here the y'alls are actually like appropriate because they're all in the South. So, my complaints from the other video where I was saying how I don't like how fucking white northerners with no southern accent whatsoever using the word y'all. Like, when these I mean, I don't have to repeat it because it's in the other video, but I swear, when these fucking, like, new agey fucking hipster, I don't even know if hipster is the word anymore, but like, these fucking bitches with their short hair and their sundresses and their stick and poke tattoos and their flip-flops and their dirty feet, and they're like, buying organic kale and scallions at the store, and they have like a list of like 500 trigger words that you can't say in their presence, and they're like, oh, hi y'all, why don't y'all come over for this barbecue at my house, we'd love to see y'all. Like, that shit just pisses me off. Anyways, where was I? Where was I? Okay, Hershey's. Pleasure to meet y'all. Here, and this here is Judd with the brown hair. Judd, like from Shiloh, but not. Yeah. But he's like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. She said he was hot. I don't think Judd is supposed to be hot in that movie, but you have to just kind of like, fill in the gap. Or maybe that's just what Rochelle likes. We don't know, you know. Hershey's. And the redhead we call Rusty. Rusty, hey. You know what's funny? I feel like, I don't remember how old I was when I saw In the Heat of the Night, but I feel like that first scene where, what's his face? His name is not Rusty in the movie. What is the dude's name? It's like, something Oakley or something like that. I don't remember. But, anyways, that's one of the, I just remember that beginning opening part, and the cop was, like, touching him and stuff. I feel like that's one of those, like, sexuality awakening moments for me. Anyways, Rochelle, yeah, great. Okay, moving on. This here is Steve. We all call him Flyboy. Oh yeah, this guy's from, the old, the good one, if you will, if you don't know. Flyboy, I got a pilot license. Rochelle, this is Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy is from Land of the Dead, I'm pretty sure. Pretty Boy nods. Rochelle, she's mute. And finally over here we have Barbara. We all know Barbara. So we didn't really need that much explanation for these people. Barbara is standing in the back with her hands folded and her head down and her hair all in her face, like she'll never be whole again. Rochelle, yeah, we kinda all wish she would die already. But hey, a good zombie apocalypse leader never leaves a person behind, or some shit. Glenn, harsh, dude. Oh, I don't have my tally card again, because I'm not at home. But, whatever. One of these days we'll get it. Where was I? Or some shit. Glenn, harsh, dude. Curly, well, thanks for letting us join up. Do we get cool nicknames and stuff? Rochelle, oh, you already got nicknames. Sheriff, Deputy, Kid, and Curly. Curly, gee, thanks. Carl, what about the person in the toga? Rochelle, who? Carl, you know, the guy in the toga. Or girl, whatever, I couldn't really tell. Maybe non-binary. See, back here in this old-ass day of 8 years ago, we didn't really talk about non-binary. I mean, it did exist, if you really wanted to. You could be like... Back then, you know, we had just another way of saying it. People didn't say non-binary that often. They didn't put in that word, but we did have the same concept. We had gender queer, which, I mean, I know all this shit still exists, but, you know, indulge me. I'm just saying my experience with it. Okay, so we had gender queer, which was basically, I'm pretty sure, but, you know, don't fucking quote me because everyone has their own interpretation, but to me, from what I understood, it's like, if you're genderqueer, that means you're basically like neither male nor female. Basically, I think that's like the closest thing to like the modern non-binary like interpretation, you know? And then there's also like gender fluid. You're like different genders on different days. And then I don't know, there's so many. I'm actually a fan of the 26 genders and all that shit. 46, however, infinite genders, I don't give a fuck. Everyone, every living person on earth can have their own gender for all I care. I kind of enjoy that idea because to me, the whole gender thing, it's kind of just like, I don't take it as harsh as some other people. Some people get really against it because I think it kind of has to do with their experience too. Like, I think most of the people who are negative against, like, the having your choice of genders and stuff, making your own gender and everything, I think some of them are just assholes. They're just conservative and they just want things to be old-fashioned forever, so you can't do anything about those people. But then other people, like, I think some people would have been open to it, but they just had a bad experience. Like, the person that introduced them to the idea of non-binary gender was an asshole and fucking ruined it for them and just made it all about, like, trying to whip them into submission and shit like that, and so they turned their back on that shit, which I can totally understand. Because I've turned my back on some shit due to that shit, but overall I'm for it. I think it's just about, like, how you want to be treated, you know? Like, I mean, like, I don't know. It's just like when you go out there, especially if you're like dating and stuff. I mean, I know it's more than that, but I feel like that's the place it usually comes up. Because if you're not dating people, I feel like most of the time, unless you're really strict about how you want to be treated, most people get treated like more or less the same. But then again, I don't know because I'm at the bottom of the tier of jobs and stuff. So if you're in a higher tier job, like some white collar job or some like office job where like office politics are more intense, because I do service work and like when you're a service worker, people hardly fucking give a shit, and people are more just likely to say, oh, okay, whatever, and you know. But when you're up higher, it's like those things where it's like, that's when people start saying, like, oh, so and so got paid more than me, even though we do the same job. Because it's like, once you get into the upper tiers, you start getting into like that type of like corruption shit, where it's like, oh, well, if you know somebody and if you went behind the scenes and asked for a favor and if you did this and that, and it's like, instead of it all just being uniform and easy and simple the way it is when you work like a minimum wage job. And even then, we have corruption, corruption everywhere. But, yeah, I don't even need to say that because people know. But, anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm going off so far. Basically, I feel like the fucking bajillion gender thing is popular amongst certain folks because it gives them the chance to actually map out and state how they want to be treated, which I think is fair enough. Everyone should get the chance to say, I want to be treated like this, that, and the other thing. Anyways, whatever. Where was I? Let me drop this circular discussion. Okay, everyone in the group stares at him strangely. Carl, shrinks back slightly. Curly, you got yourself an imaginary friend? Carl, you know what? Just never mind. He goes to finish off his beer, but finds the can already empty. Carl, aw. Shane, alright, but hold up. I gotta know something, it's killing me. How long all this been going on? I mean, shit, is this real life? I had to steal that stupid bullshit from the kid that was on drugs after being at the dentist or some shit. That's a fucking old meme. Glenn, since the apocalypse started, it's been like 2-3 days, since I heard at least. Shane counts on his fingers. Well, today's Monday. I had the long 2-day weekend, so... Rick, damn, y'all had 3 days and you couldn't have noticed something was off? Shane and Curly think about it. Curly, oh, I know, we went out drinking Friday night, and then spent the weekend binge-watching American Horror Story. Hoo-hoo, that's a good-ass show, I'm telling y'all. I wonder what season was on at this point. 2013, so, I don't know. I could totally imagine them watching that. Hershey's, oh yeah, I love that show. Me and the boys seen every episode. Tyree, yeah, it's bomb for sure. Enthusiastic agreement from all around until everyone is just talking over each other. Barbara, freaking out. Really, you guys? It's only the end of the world as we know it, and all you can talk about is television? That reminds me of when I was in high school. We were like, I was in GSA, and, sometimes the adults who were in charge of the group could be a little uptight and shit, and I just remember this one time, and all we ever did was sit around and talk anyway. We had like, oh, we should do this event and that event and have like a table or booth or something. We never fucking did anything. We went to this one, like, extracurricular, like, meetup one time, and what did we do there? Sit around and fucking talk. That's it. So, whatever. But anyways, where was I? Yeah, so anyways, we're in GSA, and we were just sitting around talking, chatting, and, the adults weren't fucking leading discussions, so we just started talking about whatever we wanted, and it was funny, because me and this chick, I had a lot of frenemies in high school. It was interesting. That's why I always say, like, the way that they show bullying in, movies and stuff, and TV shows, it's way more complicated in real life. They never show, like, the real complexities. Like, because these people would fucking mercilessly bully me and shit, but then I didn't feel like fucking going against the whole school, so I just kind of took my place as a court jester, and sometimes we'd actually be friendly with each other, and then next day they'd be like fucking talking shit. But anyways, this one bitch that used to fucking talk hella shit about me and stuff, we were in GSA together, and we were both like fag hags, like probably she still is, and I still am for sure, but we had that in common, and so So, anyways, we started talking about Rockstar NXS and Rockstar Supernova, and we were saying like who we thought was hotter and who we thought was. She was like, "Oh, I liked Lucas." She's like, "Oh yeah, I just want to like molest him." She's like, "I bet you did too," and I'm like, "Nah, man. To me, it's all about Marty, you know, and shit like that." And then and then the adults were like, "Can we not talk about TV right now?" And it's just like, "All right, whatever. Way to be uptight, you know." Okay, where was I? Okay, everyone gets quiet. Barbara gets super quiet again, too. Rochelle, yeah, sarcastically. Thanks, everyone, for that. Close parentheses sarcasm. What, or close bracket, whatever that is. It's funny because sometimes I do that, like I'm trying to make it look like it's like old HTML or something like that, you know? Well, let's get back to the base. You know, we can't leave it alone for too long, or those fucking assholes are gonna come by and jack all our shit. Rick, you have a base? Wow, you guys are prepared. Rochelle, oh, if you like that, then you ain't seen nothing yet. Everyone turns to follow her through the ravine. Ah, yes, the beautiful ravine, filled with damp earth and ferns and moss, trash bags, tires, mufflers, and other car parts, and piles and piles of garbage from people littering off the freeway above. Yeah. Ugh. People are such pigs. They can't even just keep their trash in the car. That's what I do. I have plastic bags, and I keep my trash in the car. Where was I? Suddenly, a big-ass opossum appears in front of them on the path, wearing a little crown and a purple cape. This is, like, the first time, because, like, the whole beginning, I wrote, like, solidly up to this point, and then I ran out of things, I ran out of ideas, so this possum was my, writer's block, breaker. That's why it's so ridiculous and out of nowhere. Wearing a little crown, a purple cape, a possum. I'm the king in these here parts. Don't even try to get past me. Tyrone just takes out his Glock, and I don't know what a Glock is. I know it's a handgun, but if you lined up a bunch of handguns on a table and said pick out the Glock, I don't even know if it's like a make, a model, or what the fuck it is. I don't know if it's a brand name or if it's like a whole umbrella term for a bunch of handguns or if it's just slang for a handgun in total. I don't fucking know, but he has one because why not? All the rap songs that talk about Glock this and Glock that. Yeah, why not? And blows the opossum into a million little bits of fur. Luba kisses his cheek. Muy goroi. The two of them laugh together and then start making out. Carl, ... Yeah, okay. At last, I should have a tally for as many people say yeah, okay. At last they come to a big old brick warehouse, previously abandoned, but abandoned no more. Rochelle unlocks the front double doors, which are padlocked, and then swings them open. Rochelle, welcome to the Casa de Survivors. Angelic choir singing in heavenly glow shines, but when the heavenly glow wears off, like in 2 seconds, we can all see that it's just a bunch of stacked up crates and boxes thrown in there sloppily, a dirty ass floor, half boarded up windows, and some sleeping bags tossed on the floor. Curly, oh, is this your place? It's nice. Shane, yeah, you got a lot of supplies. Damn, looks like a Kansas basement. Rick, glad to see you guys are so prepared. Carl looks around. It's a shithole. Adults. Carl! Rochelle, I like your style, kid. You can organize the canned food for me. The rest of you, help finish boarding up the windows. This place is a work in progress. Shane and Curly go off to board up the windows. Rick steps forward. Heh, no offense, but board up windows? You're wasting our talents here. Shane and me are trained officers of the law. Why don't you step down and let us run things for a while? What a fucking asshole. Rochelle, ... gives him the icy cold glare. Excuse me? Step down? She gets up all close to him. Rochelle, hell nah! She shoves him back hard enough to make his titties bounce. Listen and listen up good, little missy thing. I've worked at Red Lobster for 4 long years with no raise, no promotion, not a damn thing. Now that I got some power, I ain't giving it up for nothing. You're Ethan Hawke in Training Day. I'm Denzel. I forgot about that line. Oh man, back when I could write. She walks off, irritated, as Carl is meanwhile organizing the boxes of cans. Rick crosses his arms and mutters under his breath, about to talk shit about her, when suddenly Rochelle turns back around, like apparently she wasn't actually done yet. Oh, what's it gonna be? Rochelle, but hey, cop, if you're so sure you want to act butch, then fine, I got a job for you. Alright, let's continue this in the next episode.